Hey, what's up, everyone? We all know that trading stocks can be super difficult in any market. So, today I just want to briefly go over some of the key indicators that I'm using to interpret the market. If you guys currently look at my chart, you'll see it looks like a conglomeration of indicators. So, I wanted to break them down one by one and kind of go over some of the different indicators I'm using. So, let's go ahead and hide these. The first indicator that I like to use is the RSI, or the Relative Strength Index, which is down here. When a stock is above 70, it's considered overbought. And when it's below 30, it's considered oversold. So if you guys look right here, within this purple, this would be the 70 area, this would be the 30 area. So up here, above 70, this stock would be considered overbought and would potentially be due for a pullback. So you could see right here, there's a pullback. Up here, it's at 85. There's a pullback. Down here is 20. So that's technically considered oversold. So it could potentially be due for a rebound. It doesn't happen all the time. So it's just something to keep in the back of your mind when looking at charts, whether stocks are oversold or overbought. The next indicator that I like to use is the 50-day moving average and 200-day moving average. So the 50-day moving average is pretty much just the close for the past 50 days. And you could see this orange line is considered the 50-day moving average. And the 200-day moving average is the close of the stock price the past 200 days. So you can see this black line is the 200-day moving average. And I like to use those as either support and resistance lines or trend lines, depending on what the stock's looking like. You could see right here is what they call a death cross. When the 50-day moving average crosses below the 200-day moving average, it's considered bearish. And you can see right here we have a downtrend going. The orange line stayed below the 200-day moving average, and the price has been following ever since. Right here, you can still see it's down below. And then also the golden cross right here, the 50-day crosses above the 200-day moving average, which is considered bullish. This was back in 2024. You can see how the price stayed pretty much well intact following this 50-day moving average all the way up right here until we had this cross down of the 200-day moving average. So that's another indicator that I like to use. The SRV2, it's called. I use TradingView for my charts. This is support and resistance lines, as you can see right here. Each one of these red little dotted areas are currently some resistance lines. And I'll get into that in just a little bit here. Let's see here. Well, let's just do it right now. Okay, so the support and resistance lines, if you take a look at, let's go to Tesla. Tesla on the weekly here. You can see Tesla was right here, came up, busted through this resistance line, which turned to support, busted through this line right here as well, and came all the way up through here to this 399 area. And now it's dropping back down. Here's the next support area, the next support area, and the next support area. So it's definitely something to keep in mind when you're looking at stocks, is the different support areas, and it's different for every time frame. The same as the moving averages, they'll change with each time frame. So I'm on the weekly right now. If you look at the daily, it looks totally different. The support and resistance areas look different. The 50-day moving averages look different. Same with the 30-day. I'm sorry, 30-minute, the 15-minute, and the 5-minute. Everything's going to look a little bit different. So I pretty much use all of these indicators that I'm showing you right now to put together a book and kind of see where the stock's heading. Of course, we have volume right here. Look at all the buying and selling pressure going on. And this next indicator is super helpful. The VRP, number of rows, which is a volume profile. This is where a lot of the buying and selling is. If you look right here, a lot of times when there's not a lot of volume profile, you'll see the stock either shoot up really fast or drop down really fast and within this area. So it's something to really keep your eye on. As you can see with Tesla, volume profile was pretty much right in this area. So once Tesla broke this resistance line right here, it shot up pretty much right to here, and then started to drop back down. So it could rise up and it could drop down just as fast. Another really good example of this is Rolls-Royce. Let's see here. You can see we had a major downtrend right here. We downtrend, a lot of consolidation. The volume profile was pretty much right in this area. So once it got above this, it just started moving. You can see the first resistance line was right here, which turned to support once it broke it. So it had all this consolidation going on, started moving up a little bit, moved up to this first resistance line, broke it, was past this volume profile. There's pretty much nothing over here. And you could see right here that first resistance was $9.17 once it broke past this $2.60. So now it's hitting some resistance levels up here, $11.02. So there's a really good example of the volume profile working with the resistance. Let's see. The Ichimoku Cloud, one of my favorites right here. I really love this indicator. If you guys take a look, let's go to Tesla or Bitcoin. Okay, so the Ichimoku Cloud, the blue line is a 9-day moving average. The red line is a 26-day moving average. I don't really use these too much. Like I said, I have the RSI down here. I don't really use the MACD as well. So I really just use these Ichimoku Clouds for trend, basically if it's trending up or down, and how big or how thick the clouds are. These clouds right here, like the green cloud will act as support. So if the price were to come down and it's a thick cloud, a lot of times the price will catch in this area and bounce. If it's a super thin cloud, the price could potentially break right through. But we're in an uptrend right now. Anytime the stock price, the candles are above this green Ichimoku Cloud, you're in a bullish trend. So you can see down here. Stock price was kind of consolidating. This is Bitcoin right here. So the stock price was consolidating between these resistance levels. A lot of the volume profile was right in this area right here. So it shot up to this next resistance level, which is right here, and broke through. then broke through this resistance level and this resistance level right here. Let's see. So right now, if you look at Bitcoin, you'll see we formed the classic cup handle with the breakout right here. And now we're in this downtrend right here. I'm looking at this. Here's your 200-day moving average right here. You can see a lot of times the stock will get bought right back up after it drops below the 200-day moving average. So I like to look at the different time frames and see where the volume profile is, what the stock looks like. You can see right here on this daily, there's a little gap right here. We're below the 200-day moving average. The RSI is right around 30, 39 or so. So technically, this is still bearish. Is my thoughts on this. I'm keeping my eye on this next resistance level of 69,000. We broke below these clouds. Like I said, we started above the clouds right here. But anytime you break down and you break that cloud, it starts getting bearish. And you can see right here, we broke the cloud. We broke this resistance level. We're still heading down. The next resistance level is approximately 69,133. That's on the weekly. Let's look at the daily. Oh, I'm sorry, that is the daily. Let's look at the weekly. The weekly, you can see right here, we almost bounced right perfectly at the 50-day moving average. And you guys will see that a lot of times. The stock will trend along that 50-day moving average, bouncing off of it, moving higher, bouncing off of it, moving higher. So that's something to keep an eye on too, is if it's going to break below this 50-day moving average, where's the next resistance level? Our support is right here. The next support is 66,927. The volume profile, once again, pretty absent right here. So those are some of the key things I look at. The Ichimoku Cloud's been really awesome with helping me find which way the stock's trending. Like I said, when it's above the green Ichimoku Cloud, like right here, it's considered bullish. When it starts getting down into here and it breaks through, I mean that's a big amount of support right there. When it breaks through, it's considered bearish. Like I said, this is Tesla right here. Let's see. Tesla broke below the 200-day moving average. Next resistance on the daily, it's 177. We have a lot of volume profiles, so still see what happens with that one. And you could use this method for any chart. You could use it for Bitcoin, the SPY, any stock really. I even like to look at the VIX using this as well. VIX pretty much forms the opposite of the stock market. When the VIX goes up, most of the stocks will drop. Like the SPY, it does the opposite of the SPY. So when the VIX goes up, the SPY will technically drop, and you could see right here we have this huge gap right here before we get into these clouds, where the price might not be able to go up and bust through those clouds as easy. So I'm really keeping my eye on the VIX right here until we get closer into these clouds, into this resistance right here. Like I said, when that goes up, the SPY, typically drops. So that's kind of what I like to look at. I put all this together. I look at the different time frames. Um, just like with Bitcoin down here, you can see we broke that resistance level, broke the resistance levels. We're above the Ichimoku Cloud. Once you break down through the Ichimoku Cloud, turns bearish. Look and see where we're at. Is it close to the 200-day moving average? Because a lot of times it gets bought up around the 200-day moving average. It makes its way through the red Ichimoku Cloud, which is showing strength after a consolidation. And it starts breaking into this uptrend. That's what you had right here. So these are all things that you take a look at. If you guys like this video, click like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what kind of indicators you guys are using. And have a great night.